Hello students, myself Vinita Kumbhar, teacher in Department of Mathematics, DES Ferguson College, Pune. First of all, I welcome you all in this session to learn the third chapter, Trigonometric Functions from Mathematics Paper 1. See, the concept of trigonometric functions you already learned in standard 11. This year we are having few more details. Let us have those details using PowerPoint presentation. The weightage is more for this chapter, that is of 10 marks. Let us have the look on the articles, those we are going to study in this chapter. Number 1 is the trigonometric equations and their solutions. In this, we have two types of solutions. One is the principal solution and the other is the general solution. But the general solution with the theorems and the examples is delivered of HSC board for this academic year. The second article is the solution of triangle. This is the process of finding the measures of unknown parts with the known parts. Parts means the sides and the angles of the triangle. Thus, in all, there are 6 parts for the triangle. To study the solution of triangle, we have polar coordinates. This locates the position of the point in the plane. And particularly in this chapter, these polar coordinates are used to denote the vertices of triangle in the plane. Second is relation between the polar coordinates and the Cartesian coordinates. The Cartesian coordinates you have already learned, and this also represents the position of the point in the plane, but the polar coordinates and the Cartesian coordinates are the two different systems. So we study the relation between those. The third is solving a triangle. For this, we have to learn the sine rule, cosine rule, and the projection rule. These 3 rules are very important. Those enables while solving the triangle. We have the proofs of these 3 rules, and those will be asked as a theory question in the board exam. The 7th one is applications of the sine rule, the cosine rule, and the projection rule, but this part is also deleted from the syllabus of HSC board for this academic year. The last one is very important, that is the inverse trigonometric functions. In this we have properties, principal values of inverse trigonometric functions. But the proofs of properties of inverse trigonometric functions are deleted. Students, please note that the articles or the subunits which are shown in red color are deleted from syllabus for this academic year only. Now let us study all these in detail one by one. The first one is the trigonometric equations and their solutions. Now in school algebra, you have learned the algebraic equations, its meaning, how to find the solutions, etc. The trigonometric equations we have in place of algebraic equations. Now the algebraic equations may be in one variable or maybe in 2 variable, maybe in the linear form, maybe in the quadratic form. So this ax plus b equal to 0 is the linear equation in one variable, and ax plus by is equal to c. This is the linear equation in 2 variables. Let us have one example. 5x plus 3 equal to 0. Find its solution. It is x is equal to minus 3 by 5. So here we got only one solution. But if we have the next equation 3x plus 2y equal to 6, to find out the solution, we assume the different values of x. Let x is equal to 0. Put it in this equation. Then this term will be 0 and 2y is equal to 6 you will get. So y is equal to 3 you have for x is equal to 0. Let us have second value. Say x is equal to 2. Put again in this equation. So if we put x is equal to 2, the first term is 6 and the RHS is also 6 gets cancelled and we have 2y equal to 0, therefore y equal to 0. Let us have one more value of x is equal to 1, put again in the equation, therefore you will get y is equal to 3 by 2. So here, for the different values of x, we are having corresponding values of y. But here, I am assuming x as infinitely many. So obviously, we are having infinitely many values of y also. So for this equation, the number of solutions are infinite. So from equation 1, that is 5x plus 3 equal to 0 and 3x plus 2y equal to 0, we can conclude that the algebraic equations have either finite or infinite solutions. Okay, now this is about the algebraic equations. Now what we do is the variables x or the variable x and y we replace by the trigonometric functions of variables. For example, you may replace this x by sine of alpha. You may replace this x by cos of beta, or you may replace y by tan of gamma. So here, these variables we are replacing by the trigonometric functions of the variables, say sine x, cos theta, sec alpha, tan beta, cot phi, etc. Remember, here alpha, beta, gamma, theta, phi, all these are the variables. Now, with this knowledge, we can define the trigonometric equation as an equation involving trigonometric function or functions. Okay, so in the equation you may be having only one trigonometric function of the variable, or you may be having two or more than two trigonometric functions of the variables. For example, sin x is equal to half. This represents the trigonometric equation. Tan theta equal to -1. Cos 2 theta is equal to cos 3 theta. All these are the trigonometric equations. One more is x is equal to a sine omega t plus alpha. This as well represents the trigonometric equation. But oftenly we are using this type while trying the sums. Okay. Now, once the trigonometric equations are defined, there must be the solution. You know, solution is nothing but what? This is the value of the variable which satisfy the given equation. So here we consider one example, say sin x is equal to half. Now immediately you can answer x as pi by 6. But remember, this is not the only solution for the equation sin x is equal to half. There are few more angles. For those, sin x is again half. How to find that? Maybe using the periodicity or maybe using the rules of the allied angles. Now we are finding these angles in the next article in detail. Don't worry about that. Tan theta equal to 1. So theta is equal to pi by 4, or theta may be 5 pi by 4 or 9 pi by 4. As I told you, using the rules of allied angles or using the periodicity, again we can find the angles for which tan theta is equal to 1. Clear? So please remember, like an algebraic equation, trigonometric equation can also have either finite or infinite number of solutions. Remember, for the trigonometric equation sin x is equal to half and tan theta equal to 1, we got infinitely many solutions. But if we put restrictions on these equations, obviously you will get the finite number of solutions. Okay. Now the reason for getting infinite number of solutions is the periodicity. And you know what is the periodicity? After regular intervals, the values of the function repeats. You will get an idea if we see this example. You know the period of sine function y equal to sin x is 2 pi. And we know sine 30 degrees, that is sine pi by 6 is equal to 1 upon 2. As the period is 2 pi, we can write sine 2 pi plus pi by 6 is again equal to sine pi by 6, and which is equal to half. But if I add the bracketed quantity, then you have sine 13 pi by 6. But with the rules of allied angles, sine 2 pi plus pi by 6 is again sine of pi by 6. Similarly, we have sine 4 pi plus pi by 6. Let us add this. You will get sine 25 pi by 6, which is again half. You may use the rules of allied angles or the periodicity. So here we are getting the values of the variables as pi by 6, 13 pi by 6, 25 pi by 6 and so on. Now if you are finding this in degrees, you may be writing this as 30 degrees, 390 degrees, 750 degrees, etc. Okay, so for different values of the variables, the function is same. Means though you are changing the angle, the value of the function remains the same. Thus we can say sine 30 degrees is equal to sine 390 degrees is equal to sine 750 degrees is equal to 1 upon 2. You may be writing this angle in the degree measure or the radian measure. But particularly in this chapter we are writing the angles in the radian measure. Okay, so try to remember the meaning of solution of the trigonometric equations. Now as I told you, there are two types of solutions for trigonometric equations. First is the principal solution and the second one general solution. But the general solution with the theorem and the examples are deleted. Therefore, we have only the principal solutions. So let us have the definition. Now in the previous slide, I explained that we got infinitely many solutions for the trigonometric equations. But if we put the restrictions on those, you will get the principal solution. And that restriction is that angle or that variable alpha is less than 2 pi greater than or equal to 0. So we can define the principal solution as a solution alpha of a trigonometric equation is called principal solution if alpha is less than 2 pi greater than or equal to 0. You may call this as the semi-closed interval 0, 2 pi. So please remember this condition is very important. This alpha is the variable. Alpha may be replaced by x or theta or phi, psi, alpha, beta, gamma, etc. as I told you. Now we see one example. Sin x is equal to 1 upon 2. So obviously we got the answer x as pi by 6. Now using the rules of allied angles, sin pi by 6 we can write as sin pi minus pi by 6, which is equal to, find the difference, 6 pi minus pi, that is sin 5 pi by 6, and its answer is again 1 upon 2. Okay, now how to find this is, remember the condition. The variable alpha or x or theta is always less than 2 pi and greater than or equal to 0. So we have the 4 quadrants only, the first quadrant, the second quadrant, third quadrant and the fourth quadrant. Now see, sin x is equal to half means we got the positive value. So search where sin is positive. Sin is positive in the first quadrant. So for that you got the angle pi by 6, no doubt. But if we consider the second quadrant, there also sin theta is positive or sin x is positive. But the angles are of the form pi minus theta. And therefore using the rules of allied angles, we can write sin pi minus pi by 6 is also sin pi by 6, but the actual difference is 5 pi by 6. So for two angles, pi by 6 and 5 pi by 6, we got sine of those angles is equal to 1 upon 2. Now sin pi by 6 we can write sin 2 pi plus pi by 6 also. Why? Because after having one complete rotation, if we come in the first quadrant again, then we have the angle 2 pi plus pi by 6. Add this, you will get sine of 13 pi by 6, which is again 1 upon 2. Okay, but sine 13 pi by 6, if you consider, 13 pi by 6 does not belong to the interval alpha less than 2 pi greater than or equal to 0. Therefore, we discard that value and we consider only two solutions, pi by 6 and 5 pi by 6. Why? Because pi by 6 belongs to the semi-closed interval 0 to 2 pi, and 5 pi by 6 also belongs to the semi-closed interval 0, 2 pi. Thus, we can conclude 5 pi by 6 and pi by 6 are the principal solutions of the trigonometric equations sin theta is equal to 1 upon 2. Similarly, if we consider another equation, say cos theta equal to -1. Now, find out the angle theta for which cos theta is -1, keeping in mind that theta is less than 2 pi greater than or equal to 0. So again, we will have to recall the figure, that is first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant or fourth quadrant, or the angle may lie along the coordinate axis also. So here cos theta equal to -1 is possible for theta is equal to pi. You know cos 180 degrees is -1. So we write theta equal to pi is the only principal solution of this equation. Okay, so to study or to find the principal solutions, you must be very perfect in the rules of allied angles. You must be able to apply the rules of allied angles correctly. You know the rules of allied angles are what? Sin n theta plus or minus theta equal to sin theta, cosec n theta plus or minus theta equal to cosec theta, then cos of n pi plus or minus theta is cos theta. Similarly, sec of n pi plus or minus theta equal to sec theta, and the remaining two also. How will you remember this? Remember, this n is always the integer. Okay, so if n is integer, then the allied angles n pi plus or minus theta, for this allied angle, the trigonometric ratio remains as it is. That is, sine remains sine, cosec remains cosec, cos remains cos, sec remains sec. Now here I mean sec means sec theta. Okay, tan remains tan, cot remains cot. But this is not the complete answer. You will have to do one more step, that is, you will have to confirm the sign according to the ASTC rule, all STC rule. That is, according to the quadrant, you will have to choose the sign, whether it is positive or negative. So this is very, very important while finding the principal solutions. You must be very perfect in applying the rule. Now this is the rule to choose plus minus sign, and this you have done already last year. In the first quadrant, all the trigonometric functions are positive. In the second quadrant, only sin theta, cosec theta are positive. In the third quadrant, tan theta and cot theta are positive. In the fourth quadrant, only cos theta and sec theta are positive. Okay, so keep these things in mind. Similarly, if you have sin n pi by 2 plus or minus theta, then cos n pi by 2 plus or minus theta, tan of n pi by 2 plus or minus theta, and the remaining three, see the interchange is there. Sin changes to cos changes to sin, tan changes to cot, and cot changes to tan, sec changes to cosec, and cosec changes to sec. Remember, here n is an integer. Okay, but if we consider n as odd integer, then only interchange is there. So this n must be 1 pi by 2 or 3 pi by 2 or 5 pi by 2 or 7 pi by 2, then only we have the interchange between the pair sin cos, tan cot, and sec cosec. But again, we will have to decide the sign whether it is positive or negative according to the quadrants which is given here. Clear? So the rules of allied angles we will have to remember to find out the principal solutions. Now one more thing we will have to remember is values of the trigonometric functions, and that you are done in 10 standard as well as in 11 standard. This we required oftenly while trying the sums for 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, sign of the values of the angles. Okay, but as I told you, we are generally writing angles in the radian measure. So this you will have to remember. 30 degrees is pi by 6, 45 degrees is pi by 4, 60 degrees is pi by 3, 90 degrees is pi by 2, and 180 degrees is pi. And these values you already know. So we are not wasting time in doing this. Now all STC rule, as I told you, you will have to remember. With this table, you will have to remember all STC rule. All means all the trigonometric functions positive. S means only sine and its reciprocal is positive in the second quadrant. T means tan and cot are positive. And C means cos and sec are positive in the fourth quadrant. Okay? And one more thing is, you'll have to remember the reciprocals, and this you already used oftenly in 10th standard, in 11th standard. Sec theta is 1 upon cos theta, cosec theta is 1 upon sin theta, and cot theta equal to 1 upon tan theta. So this is the rapid revision I have taken because that we need to solve the exercise. Okay, so let us move to the exercise 3.1. Question number 1 is, find the principal solutions of the following equations. We are finding the principal solutions of the given equations. First subquestion is cos theta is equal to 1 upon 2. See the method of solving trigonometric equations. Try to understand the method. The first step is what? Cos theta equal to half is given. Find out the angle for which cos theta is half. We know cos 60 degrees is 1 upon 2, and that 60 degrees we can write pi by 3. Thus cos pi by 3 is equal to 1 upon 2 we write. But keep in mind the condition is that theta or x or alpha, beta, gamma, etc. is always less than 2 pi and greater than or equal to 0. Therefore, you will have to find few more angles in any one of first, second, third or fourth quadrant for which cos of that angle is again 1 upon 2. Okay, now how will you find that? With this rule. No need to write this in the solution. This will have to visualize and find out the another angle. Now, as I told you, cos theta is positive in the fourth quadrant, but the angles are of the type 2 pi minus theta. Therefore, cos of pi minus theta is again cos of theta. So thus here we got the two angles. What are those? Cos pi by 3 is equal to cos 2 pi minus pi by 3, and find out the difference, that is cos of 5 pi by 3. Okay, so cos pi by 3 is same as cos of 5 pi by 3, which is equal to 1 upon 2. Now check whether pi by 3 and 5 pi by 3 lies in the given interval. Clear? But already we got by the all STC rule. Therefore, here this is obvious that these angles satisfy the condition that those angles belongs to the semi-closed interval 0, 2 pi. But in the solution, you will have to write this step without fail. Therefore, we write. Now, you may be having the question in your mind that why we are not writing equality sign here. As pi by 3 is non-zero, therefore we write pi by 3 is less than 2 pi and greater than 0. Actual condition is this, but this value is fixed now, and which is not 0. Therefore we write pi by 3 as well as 5 pi by 3. These are less than 2 pi and greater than 0. This is the condition actually you got, but if you are writing this way, once the angle is fixed, makes no difference. Okay. So we have cos theta is equal to cos pi by 3 is equal to cos 5 pi by 3, and therefore theta is equal to pi by 3 and theta equal to 5 pi by 3 are the required principal solutions. Clear? So please remember the method of finding the principal solutions. It is very, very easy. All these steps must come in the solution with the condition. This is very, very important condition you will have to remember. Okay, so this is very easy to understand. Let us have the third subquestion from question number 1, exercise 3.1. Cot theta equal to root 3. Now, this equation cot theta equal to root 3 you may keep as it is and go on solving by the previous method either, or if you feel this is very difficult to find or apply the rules of allied angles for cot, you may write cot theta as 1 upon tan theta. Actually, this is the simpler way. For cot, sec and cosec, you use the reciprocals. Then becomes easy to solve the equation. So we have tan theta equal to 1 upon root 3 because cot theta is 1 upon tan theta. Clear? Now find out the angle. The table I showed in the previous slide. That table you will have to recall. Tan of which angle is 1 upon root 3? Tan of 30 degrees, that is pi by 6 is equal to 1 upon root 3. Now you will have to find out one more angle in any one of the quadrant. How will you decide that? Remember here tan of pi by 6 is 1 upon root 3. We got the positive value. Therefore, we find out another positive value, and for that you will have to recall this all STC rule. Now search where tan theta is positive once again. Tan theta is positive in the third quadrant, and in the third quadrant we have the angles of the form pi plus theta, right? Therefore we can say tan pi plus theta is also tan theta. So please remember, every time we are getting two values here in the principal solutions. So this figure is very important. Though you are not writing in the solution, you will have to recall that so that your answer is correct. Okay. So here, as I told you, with the figure, or if you are very perfect, no need to draw the all STC rule. That figure no need to draw, and write using the rules of allied angles. Therefore tan pi by 6. This tan pi by 6 is the same as tan pi plus pi by 6, which is equal to, find out the addition, that is 6 pi plus pi, that is tan 7 pi by 6. Clear? So here we are using the rules of allied angles or all STC rule, you may recall. Okay. So tan pi by 6 is equal to tan 7 pi by 6 is equal to 1 upon root 3. But we will have to mention the principal solution, that pi by 6 is less than 2 pi, greater than 0. 7 pi by 6 is less than 2 pi and greater than 0. Okay, this condition is very important. Without fail, you will have to write that. And no need to write equality sign here and here, because this value is fixed. And you know, these are the non-zero quantities, non-zero angles. Therefore, we write strictly less than 2 pi and greater than 0 for both the angles. Okay. Thus tan theta is equal to tan pi by 6 is equal to tan 7 pi by 6, and therefore we conclude theta equal to pi by 6 and theta equal to 7 pi by 6 are the required principal solutions. I think the method is clear. It is very easy. You will have to remember only the rules of allied angles and the conditions. Okay. I hope you have understood the concept of principal solutions and method of finding the principal solutions. I suggest to memorize all these previous knowledge and the new concept. Thank you.